Most people don't realize this, but your brain has been lying to you about why you don't post photos of yourself. You've labeled it privacy. You've called it being low-key. But the harsh truth? You're not avoiding the camera. You're avoiding the feeling of being perceived. In clinical psychology, this is a defense mechanism. You've built a digital fortress around yourself, but look closely at the walls. That privacy you're so proud of, it's not a shield, it's a cage, and you're the one holding the key. Think about the last time you actually tried to take a photo. You took 50. You spent 20 minutes adjusting the lighting, the angle, the tilt of your head. You zoomed in on your skin, the shadow under your eyes, that one weird way your lip curls when you're forced to smile. And what did you do? You deleted every single one of them. You told yourself, I just don't look like myself today. But psychology says the opposite. You looked exactly like yourself. You just didn't look like the perfect version of you that lives in your head. Psychologists call this the ideal self versus real self gap. We all have a masterpiece version of ourselves in our minds. When you see a photo that doesn't match that masterpiece, your brain registers it as a threat to your identity. So you stay invisible, because as long as you're hidden, you can still pretend you're perfect. But why does it hurt so much to just be seen? It's because of the spotlight effect. Your brain is a survival machine that hasn't updated its software in 50,000 years. Back then, if the tribe was staring at you, it usually meant you were about to be exiled or judged. And in the wild, being alone meant death. Today, your brain treats a mid-photo like a social death sentence. It convinces you that everyone is looking at your posts with a magnifying glass, dissecting your flaws. But let's be real. When was the last time you did that to someone else? You probably scrolled past your best friend's selfie in 2 seconds, gave it a like, and never thought about it again. You are judging yourself 10 times harder than a world that isn't even watching. Here is the part that's hard to hear. By not posting, you think you're in control. You think, if I don't play the game, I can't lose. But you're losing by default. Humans are biologically wired for facial recognition. We build trust, love, and community through faces. When you hide yours, you aren't being mysterious. You're triggering a subtle, untrustworthy response in the people around you. You're training yourself to be a background character in your own life. You're waiting for a perfect day when you'll finally feel pretty enough or cool enough to show up. But that day is a ghost. It doesn't exist. Confidence isn't something you have before you post. It's the muscle you build by showing up when you feel vulnerable. The fix is simple, but it's the hardest thing you'll do. You have to be okay with being perceived. You have to accept that you are a human being with flaws, bad angles, and bad days. Post the photo, not the one with the heavy filter that hides who you are. Post the one where you're actually laughing, the one that feels a little cringe. The people who actually matter don't want to see a perfect, polished statue. They want to see you, because the ghost version of you isn't the one who's going to change the world. So I have to ask, are you actually a private person, or are you just tired of hiding? Drop a me in the comments if you've been living in the shadows and you're ready to step out. Let's talk about the psychology of finally being seen.